Welcome back on the show right now from the floor of Denver Comic Con. Day one, we have Those Shadow People. I came over to their table because I'm looking at it and I'm seeing, okay, there's comic books over there, but there's also like 12-inch vinyl. And for the record, a really fucking cool looking vinyl with the clear like white splatter stuff. I love that. But so I have with me
Tim Santos.
And Tim, what do you do for this?
I'm a musician.
And I also have.
Hey, I'm Phil Buck.
And what do you do with the project?
I'm also a musician and writer on the comic.
And because this is take two, and that's not going to get edited out that I said that. Sorry, Juan, I didn't press the record button twice. That's hilarious. Tell us a little bit, Tim, about kind of just the project in general.
Yeah, absolutely. This was something that Phil and I had come up with. It was a musical side project for us. And we kind of started just coming up with the idea that maybe, we wanted to put this on vinyl. And then we had kind of come up with this whole like universe, kind of a story, a narrative, some characters that we were working with behind it because this was a collaborative project for us. So we were working with musicians from all across the country. And we started to think, hey, how cool would it be if we had characters, that kind of represented these actual real life musicians. And we just kind of went with that concept and ran with it,
So tell me how... I've been in bands before, and like it's hard to get four people in a room to practice with each other, like, once a month, just because, you guys are in a band and you all live in the same city. How shitty is it coordinating people across the country to practice?
The good news about that is, it was a plus for us because we did it when we had time. We would send a track to this guy in Tennessee, and he would do something and send it back to us, and then we would send it to somebody in California, and they'd do something and send it back. And that was really what facilitated the need for a comic, is like we need something to like make this a group of characters. We can't get all the people together in one place, so let's make a band of comic book characters, So it was very difficult in some ways, but there was no pressure. So we just did it when we had time, and finally, at the end of the day, we had this product,
So when you're looking at this project as a whole, what would you say like the overall feel, like the overall tone of like the music and the comic book together is?
Music is a blend of a few different genres. I'd say for the most part, as a whole, it sounds kind of like psychedelic soul and rock music. It does have little tinges of hip-hop and electronica at times, but if you listen to the greatest chunk of our music, it does have this kind of psychedelic soul sound going for it. Just at times, different collaborators were MCs, so we played with some hip-hop. At other times, they were like producers, so we would, focus more on beats and synthesizers. But yeah, I think you only see tinges of that stuff, and mostly it's kind of that soulful psychedelic rock blend.
If you had to throw out like influence band names, I know every band hates getting at who are your influences, but like if you had to throw out like a couple names that were a little more like notable, who would you throw out there?
For me, it was totally the Gorillaz. I don't know that we sound like the Gorillaz so much at this point, but just the idea of a multimedia project, that was a big influence on me. Tim has some other
yeah, I would say, I don't know, Flaming Lips, classic stuff, classic rock, very influential in me personally. Yeah, Tame Impala, some of the new, kind of that the resurgence of that kind of new psychedelic rock wave, got a lot of the stuff coming out of Australia and the UK.
Who did the art for the comic book?
It's a worldly group of artists. It started with a local artist. I'm going to show you, Gabe, since you're standing here with me, but for the folks that you guys are just going to have to imagine. It started with a local guy I met named Eric Turner. If you're here in the Denver area, he's a fantastic artist that had never done a comic book before, and I just happened to meet him at a show, and I was like, dude, can you help me make a comic? And he was like, yeah, if you'll pay me. So so we went down that route.
That's what every artist says, by the way. Yeah, whatever, if you pay me.
Well, you'd be surprised. I reached out to a ton of like more, friendship-based artists, and most of them were like, I don't know about that. So I finally connected with Eric. But since then, I've put together a team that ranges from our main artist is actually in Little Rock, Arkansas. His name's Chris Winters. We have a colorist that's in Indonesia named Iwan Joko Triono. We have a letterist that's in Britain, and he goes by a pseudonym, which is just the letters HDE. And then I'm usually the one writing the scripts behind it. So it's a pretty good little team now.
way to just go full tilt into that Indonesian name. Like, I'm so afraid to say people's names. Like, even at the panel that I moderated today, I had them introduce themselves so that I didn't butcher, Dan Parent's name, because I'm not going to butcher that, but just in case,
Well, funny story, just real quick. I used to pronounce it Iwan Joko Triono until I made a video that I put online, and Iwan saw it and posted on Facebook how funny he thinks it is the way his English-speaking friends pronounce his name. So I made a point to learn how to pronounce it correctly. I think I'm pretty close, but I could still be off. I don't know.
It's okay. I can hardly say, like, my own name sometimes. So, where can people find this project that aren't, at Denver Comic-Con this weekend?
Check out thoseshadowpeople.com would be the main spot. And for other musical projects by us, you can check out nematoderecords.com.
That's awesome. Thanks so much for being on, guys.
Yeah, thanks for